Protocol on I just kind of looking at it here, but she said yes, so take a look. If you haven't looked, go where they're on, where this is, just in the regular things.
Yeah, there's some Malchus lectures. They're like on Nielsen.
Yeah, we usually put one or two old ones on there. Oh, they're on, so take a look and find them. Okay, so we started talking about protein synthesis. The last thing we talked about was the genetic code. The genetic code includes these 64 triplets. Each of the triplets codes for one of the amino acids. Except for three of them, that read UGA, UAA, and UAG is not I mentioned that there are some of them have 6, some have 2, some have 1 binding. But also notice there's some two other things that are there. If you look at position 2, right, it's a purine, so if in position 2 it's a purine, and it's either guanine or adenine, then that amino acid is generally charged. If you look in position 2, if it's a pyrimidine, right, in position 2, if it's a cytosine or a uracil, then the amino acid is hydrophobic, right? So uracil is hydrophobic. So there's a couple things like that. You can play games and whatever, but that's not terribly critical. What is important is that each of those tRNAs has to be charged with amino acid. The amino acid essentially is added to the 3' or the 5' identical hydroxyl on the 5' end of the tRNA. If you go back, and here's one there, on the 3' end of the tRNA. So here's the tRNA molecule. All of the tRNAs, I didn't say that, but they all end in S. There's always an A. In fact, they all end in CCA. And this CCA is added post-transcription. So one of the processing steps in the tRNA is that there is a nucleotidal transferase that transfers the C and C and A onto the end of that 3' end. So all tRNAs end in that CCA will have the density residue is the one where the tRNA is added. When we add it, we call it charging. And so the amino acid is added to that 3' hydroxyl on the tRNA. Right, so it is attached to it. We call that charging. It's an ATP dependent. The enzyme that does it is called aminoacyl synthetase. It's dependent on ATP. There is no ATP, additional ATP in the product. It's the amino acid. That means the ATP must be needed for activation. It is. This amino acid is activated by oxygen. It's activated by being adenylated. Adenylated meaning it has AMP, it has phosphate attached to it, right? Now that's a great leaving group. That AMP is the leaving group that's there. The hydroxyl, 3' hydroxyl is attached to it like that. Linkage there, phosphate linkage, and you can attach it to the tRNA or the amino acid to the tRNA. I'll show you that in just a bit. What's interesting or what's important are these enzymes here that are called aminoacyl synthetases. They're aminoacyl synthetases each of the codons, the anticodons that are present in the anticodons that are on tRNA. Each of the tRNA has its own aminoacyl synthetases. This is just a picture of one of them. The tRNA with all its secondary structure up here is that 3' end where the amino acid is. And this is the aminoacyl synthetase. And you can see that it addresses this tRNA very innately. There's a lot of contacts that are there. All of the tRNAs do it. They don't all address it on this side, sort of the L side. Some do the other side. And so the class 1s that address it in this, as I just showed you in that last picture, the class 2 on the back side. But they all address that tRNA. And if they do, they address or approach different amino acids or different nucleotides. If you look at all of these tRNAs, the anticodons, the cytosine, the aspartic acid, the glutamic acid, and so forth, all of those, the aminoacyl synthetases that are going to add that. So this is a cysteine RNA that's going to have a cysteine aminoacyl synthetase, right? Synthetase. And this, that synthetase is going to recognize that part of the tRNA. Or that's one thing. But also, cysteine 1 recognizes this. Both usually this 3' stem structure as well as the anticodon. I recognize on both of the tRNA. But they're the synthetase. But some of them address other places, right? This is the phenylalanine looks at actually the variable. These guys here look at the variable pocket. There's a T-pseudo, that's a T-pseudo, but there's a D-stem. Some of them recognize the D-stem, right? That sounds a little confusing. Here's another picture. This is just a different cartoon drawn in 2 dimensions where you can see the tRNA synthetase that charges phenylalanine tRNA, charging means it puts phenylalanine up on this identical residue there, right? That synthetase recognizes the antiproton. It recognizes that first nucleotide in the stem after a CCA, and it recognizes something in the D loop, one amino acid in the D loop, right? Another tRNA, and the final tRNA synthetase only recognizes the antiproton. So they address different parts, which makes them more unique. Each of them recognizes the unique tRNA and adds, and adds the right amino acid to the tRNA. Who has a question? Did I confuse anybody yet? Yes.
So it requires all of those positions to be present in order to be recognized, or is it just
Each of them is different, right? Yes, all of those have to be the right nucleotide for this to recognize. If they're different, then they're different. The tRNA synthetase that adds serine to serine tRNA, the serine on that adenosine residue recognizes those nucleotides. So they all address it a little differently. Now, obviously, if there's one for each of them, they all address it differently. They all put different tRNA on. The addition of that tRNA is pretty important. It has to be carefully guarded. And in fact, the enzyme, the tRNA synthetase, has 2 catalytic sites. It has one as you do expect, one catalytic site that adds the tRNA to the amino acid, right? So this is the synthesizer that has the catalytic site. But it has a second catalytic site. And that catalytic site is the precreating site. And what that precreating site does is it checks the amino acid that we have here. And this cartoon says if it has the incorrect amino acid, then the precreating site, the catalytic site, will recognize that amino acid and will remove it. And then the synthesizer takes another crack at it and puts the right amino acid there. This is called the second genetic code. What's the first genetic code? What's the first genetic code? The information that's in the codon, right? This is the first genetic code. And we've always called it the genetic code. Now people call this the second genetic code, this function here. Why do you call it the second genetic code? Because the synthetase, right, and the other one, the anticodon, is recognizing the codon, right? It's recognizing the coding of the amino acid. This guy here, the synthetase, is recognizing, essentially, the anticodon and putting the right tRNA up there. And that's absolutely essential. If you were to take a tRNA, if you were to take serenal tRNA, right, that had a serine up here, and in the lab, you carefully altered that serine or you removed it and put another amino acid. And this thing here would still leave the anticodon that said serine, and we add whatever amino acid to the protein, whatever's attached. In other words, the tRNA can only be the codon, right? But it doesn't really know what amino acids it's putting in there. It's whatever one's attached. So it's absolutely essential that the synthetase puts the right amino acid up there. And so that's why we call that the second code. The information that the tRNA synthetase reads on the tRNA is called the second genetic code. Now follow that. And it's essential. If you mess up either of them right, you don't make the right protein. Primary structure of protein. So they're essential. Okay, so what is it? Okay, so we're just talking about that. So I want to say a little more about the amino acids and additional amino acids. And this just shows just to make it a little clearer, I think. So here's an amino acid we added to that adenosine residue, right? So that linkage, this is an acyl linkage between amino acid and adenosine residue. So that's why we call it amino-acylated tRNA, right? Amino-acylated tRNA. And you can see here, this is just this. All we've done is take the tRNA and and it's the hydroxyl on the adenosine. So here's the adenosine. And this is on the 3' end of the RNA, is adenosine monophosphate. And attached to that 3' hydroxyl is the sugar, is the amino acid. So this amino acid is attached to the 3' hydroxyl of that lipase residue is on this AMP at the end of 3' end of the messenger RNA. And as I said before, the enzyme that does that recognizes what the tRNA is and attaches to one is that amino acid synthetase, right? Amino acid synthetase. And this shows you again, right? Here's the amino acid, here's the tRNA, this is ACC, so that's tryptophan, and I put up the tryptophan. You can see it's an ATP dependent reaction. The ATP reaction then is essentially needed. It forms an intermediate, which is not shown here, right? Because this AMP activates this hydroxyl group right there, that oxygen on the tryptophan. And then the biochemistry can occur. The hydroxyl group here actually, that 3' hydroxyl group actually attacks that linkage with the AMP. And you end up with that high energy bond linking the amino acid acid to the tRNA, right? Okay. What else? I'm not going to talk about why. So we're going to talk about protein synthesis. This is the basics of what's happening in protein synthesis. Protein synthesis is the addition of an amino acid to a peptide. So this is an oligopeptide over here. Oligopeptide. This is an amino acid. You can see that the amino acid at the top is linked to this amino acyl linkage to the tRNA, to an amino acyl linkage to that amino acid. And this amino acid has a peptide attached to it, an oligopeptide. And essentially what we're going to do in protein synthesis, right, is we're going to, and actually, I will put this arrow I put this arrow this way, right, because remember what's going to happen with this. What happens is this nitrogen actually attacks that linkage. There's a bond in this direction. But the arrow could be drawn the other way. What happens is this peptide is on this tRNA, passed over to this amino acid. So this guy has a peptide on it, and this guy becomes empty. And I'll show you that as we go on these slides. You can see it, and I think you'll see. So all we're going to do is we're going to look at this reaction here quickly and how that happens. So all of this takes place with ribosomes. And remember that in your cell, there are two types of ribosomes. There are ribosomes that are attached to a membrane system, and then there are ribosomes that are free. They're not attached. Those that are attached to membranes are attached to the endoplasmic reticulum. The endoplasmic reticulum, if you look at electron micrographs, as you picture here, so this looks as if it's made up of individual true E-like, the largest organ in the cell. It's huge, and all of these compartments do not continuous. It's just that if you take a section, you have like leaflets, right? But it's all one continuous organelle. Ribosomes that are attached to this membrane, we're not going to talk about it, we'll talk extensively about it in cell biology. But the proteins that are made by the ribosomes that are attached to it have three destinations. Well, they have two destinations to begin with. One is when they synthesize the proteins that are synthesized by these ribosomes, either end up in the lumen or in the space of the endoplasmic or in the membrane of the endoplasmic. The vast majority of the proteins in a cell, all of the mitochondria make their own proteins. But certainly the cytoplasmic membrane of the cell, all the proteins are in that membrane. And in a cell, 35% of the proteins are either in the membrane of the mitochondria or the plasma membrane. Right? So all of those proteins get inserted in the membrane by these ribosomes that are attached to the membrane. Proteins that end up in the lumen are either secreted. So you just pancreatic cells, right? Cells in the islets that make insulin, the acinar cells that make digestive enzymes, liver cells that make certain hormones and growth factors. A lot of them have the brain cells and they get peptides. All of those secrete by making proteins, putting them into the ER, and then secrete by the cell. The other proteins that end up in the ER are proteins that are going to end up going to the Golgi apparatus. So they move up there and targeted to the Golgi apparatus where they're used for digestion. So all the digestive they do the Golgi apparatus, but they're finally targeted to lysosomes. That's what I say. They're targeted to lysosomes, which are the digestive factors of the cell. So all of the digestive enzymes, all the hydrolases are synthesized on ribosome, put it in the ER, and then targeted to the lysosomes. So we call the ER targeting organ. It targets proteins either to the lysosomes, to the cell membrane, or to the pathway. Proteins that are free are synthesized in amino acids, or ribosomes that are free, unattached, are synthesized in proteins that stay in the cell. So a cell that secretes, like the liver or the pancreas, right, the islets of the pancreas, are loaded with ER like this. They make a ton of ER, making proteins to secrete. On the other hand, muscle cells, their primary function is to make actin and myosin, right? They don't secrete things. They have almost no ER. You have to go through free ribosomes to make proteins inside the cell. So what are these ribosomes? We talked about before. These are ribonuclear protein particles. They're rather large machines. They're pretty bulky. They're kind of clunky. They damage things, including RNA and DNA. That's the DNA that is the nucleus of the cell, right? A eukaryotic cell. But they're ribonuclear protein particles. Each ribosome is made of 2 subunits. Bacterial cells, the subunits are 70S, or 50S and 30S, total 70. Remember that S is Spedberg unit, sedimentation, they have to do weight and shape. So they're not added. You can see this is 50, 50, and 70. Not added. That's sedimentation. Each of the subunits have lots of proteins. Remember I told you they have over 50. The large subunit of prokaryotes has 34 proteins, and the small subunit has 21. They also have multiple RNAs. This guy here has 2 of them, 5S and 23S RNA, and the small subunit has a 16S RNA. Eukaryotic ribosomes are similar, they're just bigger. If you look at them, you can see that they're 80S total. They have 50 proteins and 33 proteins. Remember, I said they can have as many as 80. There it is, 50 and 30. They have the same RNAs. The RNAs are just bigger. This is 28, this is 23, this is 18, this is 16. These guys have that extra one. This 5.8 is actually like the 5 in the prokaryote. This 5S. But they're very similar in size. If you look at these things, I told you before, the RNA has a huge amount of secondary structure. You can't see it. This picture is kind of confusing, but you can see that the intramolecular hydrogen bonds between the same molecule are there. Here's a cartoon that shows the same thing a little better. And you can see essentially all of these bonds are maximized, and the ribosome is built with the RNA folds into different sort of domains that have slightly different functions that I'm going to talk about. One of the main functions is to organize all of those proteins that we're talking about. This is a picture of just the large subunit, right, of a prokaryotic ribosome. This is one side, this is the back side of this one. This one is tipped up like that. And you can see that all these little yellow proteins are associated with the RNA. So one of the functions of the RNA is to arrange the proteins in a meaningful structural way so that they can function in the synthesis going on in that ribosome. I'm not going to talk much about those proteins. You will tell biology. If you look at the ribosome, this is a picture of actually this is the whole ribosome here. And in this picture, the darker green color, the darker green color is the small subunit, the lighter green is the large subunit, the large subunit, small. And what they've done is they've taken this one up here like this, and they just opened it up like this on the bottom, kind of like a matchbook, right? And what you can see on the inside is there are 3 of these colored sites there. Each of those colored sites is a site within those ribosomes, mature ribosomes, total ribosomes, where tRNA molecules sit. So there's 3 tRNAs that sit in here, and you can see they're in opposite order because you look at it like a matchbook. And if you look at those 3 sites in that ribosome, they're called the E, the P, and the A site. And that stands for the exit site, the peptidyl site, and the amino acid. So essentially, the picture that this is, oh, actually, this one is that picture we saw on the front. This one here, what they've done is just shift the oranges so you can look into the top. And if you look into the top, you can see there are sites in there, and there's somewhat of a channel that goes through here. And it turns out that channel is where the mRNA runs, and those are the tRNAs. The exit site, the peptidyl site, the A site. Remember that the tRNA in the picture a few ago, I showed you the tRNA with the peptide passed through it. tRNA sits in the P site, and the one that has the amino acid sits in the A site. And what we're going to talk about is two things. First of all, how does all this set up? How do we initiate protein synthesis? Right? And then secondly, how once we initiate it, how does elongation go on? How does elongation? And we're going to talk about that. Okay, so this shows initiation. Remember this one's in the book or the last one, remember the bigger pictures. But initiation there, the concept requires initiation factors. You can see some of them here. There's IF1, IF3, IF2, there's others, and so we'll be showing you. We'll talk about a few others in eukaryotes, but these are the major ones in prokaryotes. First one is IF1, IF3, two functions. Here it's shown on here. It binds to a site on a small ribosomal subunit. They interact with some of the proteins. So one of the proteins that interact with the RNA in the subunit. Right? Its function is to bind these factors there. And what happens is when IF1 and IF3 are bound there, one of the functions they have is it prevents the large subunit to bind. So when these guys are bound to that, the two subunits can interact with each other. And that's essential because initiation of protein synthesis requires that subunit be separate. So when protein synthesis ends, and the ribosome falls off the message at the very end, and that small subunit binds will be initiation pathway and the other second thing that we need is this guy here that's called ternary complex. Ternary complex includes the initiating tRNA and on the final tRNA, right? All protein synthesis begins with binding. In prokaryotes, it begins with formal methionine and methionine. So this is the formal methionine tRNA. There's another initiation factor, that's the second component of IF2. And IF2 is GTPase, so it's a small GTPase. So it binds GTP, that's the third component, that's the ternary complex. For initiation, we need one other component, the messenger RNA. Right? So in initiation, what happens is small subunit, the ternary complex, and the messenger RNA all come together in this initiation complex called the Brutus complex. And the function of the formation of that complex is to line the ribosome up on the messenger RNA so that that AG, right, the sample which is the code binding, is where the first initiator tRNA gets set. So you see that formal binding sitting right over AG. So the function of that is to all line that up. Still with me? So how do you line it up? How does it line up? There's a hint up here, right? There's this name up here, Shine Delgado, Shine Delgado. There's two guys named Shine Delgado. So first to describe this area where this sequence which is found upstream from AUG. Notice these start sites in prokaryotes, they're all AUG except one. One of them is GUG. GUG is found internally in a gene, right, goes for valine. But in this instance, about 10% of the time, the initiation of the site of the first codon is a GUG, but that's still below the line. So that's below the line, still finds there. Okay. But about 10 nucleotides upstream, you know how that goes, 10 from the AUG, 10 from all of this. There's a consensus sequence, and it's not quite as strict as the other consensus sequences that we've had. But the most important part of it is this AGGA. So there's an AGGA, here's a GGA, or a UGGA. So AGGA, I don't remember where we're at now, but anyway, AGGG. So there's a consensus sequence there, right? And that consensus is this guy right here. And remember, the closer you are to the consensus sequence, stronger the interaction between that consensus sequence and some other molecule. It happens to be this right here. I'll tell you in a minute. And the stronger interaction, the more frequent translation begins. So the closer this is to the consensus sequence, the stronger it is for a site it is for initiation of protein synthesis. That message will be translated frequently in the cell. The further away it is, the more the consensus sequence, the less frequently it becomes translated by initiation translation. That messenger RNA is translated less and you make less than that protein. We all know that. Well, this consensus sequence, the one that's shown here, happens to be complementary to this. This consensus sequence happens to be on the 3' end of the 16S RNA, 16S RNA. So remember, the 16S RNA is the RNA molecule that's in the small subunit of the ribosome. So on the 3' end, there's this guy here, right? And it is complementary to this consensus sequence that's found in the messages. It just doesn't associate with messenger RNAs. So that when initiation begins, as we said in this picture here, and we're putting together the ribosome, right, or the ribosome, the tRNA, and the message, essentially this message, this ribosome lines up at the first AUG past that time goes on the sequence. So in prokaryotes, you could have 10 other AUGs out here at the front end of the 5' end of the messenger RNA. And the ribosome and this assembly complex would miss it, would skip right over it. And it just goes directly to the first AUG after that Shine-Doe sequence. So the Shine-Doe sequences and that consensus, which is on the 16S RNA, and is complementary to the consensus sequence, right, for this messenger RNA right up in there, aligns the part of the alignment program. It also chooses this AUG, the correct AUG, to start protein synthesis. That's still there. Once all this 30S assembly comes together, that little IF2, right, that factor, is able to hydrolyze GTP. Why does it hydrolyze it there? Why does it hydrolyze it here? So we talked about that. So these little GTP binding proteins, they are GTP aces that can hydrolyze GTP, but they're pretty poor. They're not very good at it. They will bind that GTP and sit there forever. In order to do it, they need help. They need help with the protein called GAP. Over there, called GAP. Right? It stands for GTPase activating protein. So when this GAP protein binds to that or interacts with that little IF2, that GTPase, then IF2 hydrolyzes the GTP. Where do you suppose GAP is? Where do you suppose GAP is? Well, it turns out that GAP is one of the proteins, those 31 to 34 proteins that we talked about, that are part of the small cell. So IF2 bound to the tRNA doesn't do anything. It has GTP attached, that's why it's ternary complex, but it doesn't hydrolyze it. But then once it comes together with all of these components complex, now it interacts with the GAP protein that's part of that small subunit. It activates the GTPase. IF2 hydrolyzes that GTP, right? So it forms GTP and P. That no longer binds to Thank you. But when you change something, you remove the GTP, that's a huge difference, right? A large molecule coming off. So IF2 undergoes a complementation of the fall off. When it falls off, the two other initiation factors fall off. And you can see in this part here, IF2 plus the other two factors will come off, right? And then the solar subunit now bind to the small subunit it does, and now we have the 7S initiation complex. So the ribosome is now complete, and it's sitting on the first tRNA with the first binding there. Anybody have a question of initiation? And what the initiation factors do? You don't yet. I'm going to tell you a little bit about IF2 and that GTP, that ternary complex. I'm going to tell you in terms of elongation. So here's a cartoon that shows what I showed you before. There's the exit site, the P site, and the A site, EPA. And there's the peptide and the P site, there's the A site. And this is what happens, I told you, what the enzyme does is it transfers this peptide and P site over to the amino acid there. So now actually the amino acid that's in this A site has the peptide attached. Now the importance of the tRNA structure that we talked about, I told you that they can differ from 75 nucleotides to 125 or so nucleotides. But if you line them up, they're all exactly the same. They look identical. And the reason is that when they sit in these two sites like this, right, the anticodons addressing the codon in the messenger RNA here, all of the amino acyl sites are at the 3' and each message exactly the same type, exactly the same place, so that this distance here is very, very small. Right? So now the reaction and change that forms that bond. What kind of a bond are we going to? What is that bond right there? What kind of bond? No, that we had the first part of the class and the second part. The peptide bond, right, between the amino acids, we call it peptide bond. And the enzyme that makes that is called the peptidase. Peptidase. So the peptidase base makes that bond between the two of those like that. Now once we do that, what we have to do, and I'll show you a little more in a minute, what we have to do now is to take this whole ribosome and move it down, right? We have to move to the next codon, this pink codon like this. And that pink codon has to be in the A site so that a new tRNA with a new amino acid can bind to that site. And that's what happens because that step is part of the elongation. And the difference is when you look at the step here, what happens is that the ribosome doesn't move. The ribosome doesn't move sort of all at once, but rather it stutter steps. You can see in this position here that the small subunit seems to have moved, and the large one hasn't moved yet, but now the large one moves. So it kind of goes like this. And when it does that, it makes hybrid sites. So you now see this P site here, right? When the top guy moves, this tRNA is still in the P site. So in this position here, this is in the P site. But the bottom site now, or no, this guy, when it moves, here, this guy's in the A side. Okay, so when the top one moves, right, so this is the A side here, you can see now he's in the B side, because the side's moved over. But the bottom is still in the A side, he's in the A side here, and he's in the A side here. The A side kind of goes like this now, right, because you got this side. So these tRNAs are in a hybrid site. So this guy here is in a PA side, and this guy here is in the EP side. Right? This guy just moved over, so this is now on the E side, but the bottom's still on the E side. And then when you get that second shift, they move back over here. And when that happens, what happens is this E side really sort of exists. It does exist both places, but it's much stronger in the small subunit region. You can see here they don't even show it. So what happened, or here they don't show it, the E side doesn't always have. And what happens is when the tRNA moves into that E site, it's ejected. So it's long. So then we go back up to here, where this E site is empty, this A site is empty, and now this peptide, which is blue here, really becomes the one in the peptide site, and it has 4 amino acids. Everybody see that? They have a question. Yes?
So are you saying like in step 2, you said there's like a hybrid site?
It is a hybrid site, right? This site here, this is the PA site, this is the EP site. So the tRNA is half and half. It's half in half of them. In some books, rather than showing it slide like this, actually show the tRNA like that. And we don't know exactly what it looks like or exactly how it moves. This is a cartoon. If we knew exactly, if we had crystal structures, I'd show it to you. But we don't. This is a cartoon. Go ahead, ask me a question. No? Okay. So you'll see as we go. So the question is, what makes this happen? Why does it do that? Why does it move, right? And then what's the function? This. And I'm going to tell you about a couple more factors. So we talked about I as initiation factors. In elongation, there are some factors that are called ES, elongation factors. And this is the first thing. I'm going back to the side. I'm going to go focus here first to explain it to you, right? I'm going to talk about this MPA site and how that tRNA comes in. And tRNA comes in as a ternary complex rather than an initiation factor with an elongation factor. The elongation factor involved in that trial cells is called EFTU. And you have to remember, right, in prokaryotic cells, they're cranking it out. Their whole function in life is to replicate, to do, so they can evolve, so they can, exploit an environment. So they're making proteins like crazy. Every protein you make, how many IF2s do you need? One, because you initiate. But when you're making a protein, it doesn't matter whether it's 50 amino acids, 100 amino acids, 1,000 amino acids, how many EF2s do you need? You need 100 or 50 or 1,000 of them. You need one for every amino acid. Right? So you need one EFTU every time you put amino acid in. EFTU is the most abundant protein in your life. It is the most abundant protein. It's needed for protein synthesis all the time. It's one of these GTPases that binds to GTP, but it doesn't hydrolyze it right. So what happens in this site? Why is that GTP important? How does the right amino acid write this? How does this guy know which one to put in there? There's a codon there, but that's all, right? Well, it turns out that this cell is loaded with charged tRNAs. And those tRNAs have free access to that A site. And they move in and they move out. They move in and out very rapidly. The long one moves in, right? Incorrectly based pair tRNAs preferentially disassociate, pop out. Why? Because their anticodon doesn't match the codon. The right tRNA moves in, and the anticodon matches the anticodon on the tRNA matches the codon on the message. That's the right one. But it's only a triplet, right? And we didn't even talk about wobble. Sometimes it's only kind of a doublet, rather than a triplet. But that triplet, it's not very stable. We talked about that before. Complex between three nucleotides, or two complementary nucleotides, is not very strong. You have to have 7 to have any kind of permanency at all. So 3 is not very permanent. But it'll delay things. Right? So when the anticodon comes in and matches the codon, it holds that tRNA in there just for a second longer. It doesn't bounce out so much because it's incorrect, not as quickly. It holds it in there. What happens when it's there? Well, the gap protein is in there. And the gap protein has enough time to fire that GTPase. It hydrolyzes the GTPs, and now you have GTP, EFTU, and that pops right out of the site. And that leaves the tRNA now sitting in the site in a position where it can't come out. Sort of put it in there permanently. So the function of this EFTU GTP, other than carrying it in there, is also to screen to be sure that the right tRNA comes in. So if it's the wrong one, it doesn't pause because there's no match between the anticodon and the codon, and it pops right out. If it's the right one, there is a match, it pauses just a little bit too long, so the GTPase fires the GTP, the GTPase fires, and the GTP is hydrolyzed. The EFTU comes off, and the tRNA is kind of like stuck in the site. And now, once it's stuck there, all you have to do is make a peptide bond between this guy and this guy. All with you still? Yes.
So you said you needed a new EFT every amino acid, right?
Say it one more time.
You said you needed a new EFT for every amino acid.
Yes.
Why can't you just recycle it?
You can. She said, why can't we recycle this? And we can. I'll show you. It turns out that these little GTPs, I told you about this protein, GAP, right? That they need that help to hydrolyze. Well, they can't exchange that their GTP very well either. They can't get rid of it to exchange it. They need another protein that's called GEF, GEF, which is guanine nucleotide exchange factor. Yes?
So when you said that you need an EF2 for every
They're not specific, no.
okay, so
You need an EFT GTP every time you bring in a tRNA that's specific with an amino acid. But no, there's not an EFT for each amino acid. Different amino acids. Not unique. Okay. So first of all, let me say, I don't remember if I'm going to tell you about that. Which one can tell about? This just shows you what happens when the right one comes in, the GTP fires and that kind of stuff. Oh no, this is the elongation factor. So there's another factor, right? Remember that was called EFTU. GTPase. This one's called EFG, also a GTPase, right? So this guy here is needed, this elongation factor is needed for that translocation that we call it, that movement. So here we're going to form our new peptide bond area, right, that it's formed. And this is sort of in the process of moving it, right? So this is that first thing where the ribosome shifts, and that second one where the bottom shifts like that. And we need this to do that. The EFG GTP binds into the site here. And it actually is involved in that translocation step. If you don't, when you take the EFG molecule, that protein there, the protein synthesis stops because the elongation stops. E stands for elongation. It stops, right? Because it can't hydrolyze GTP. So that hydrolysis of GTP actually is what causes the ribosome to move down the messenger RNA. It causes this shuffling that goes on. Okay? So how many GTPs are needed for protein synthesis? How many GTPs are needed to add an amino acid to a growing peptide chain? 2. Right? One for the EFCU, one for the EFG. You need both of those. Yes? So to add an amino acid, you need 2 GTPs. Now remember, those are ATP equivalents. This GTP has to be rephosphorylated by a kinase, and that phosphate comes from ATP. So it's like having to, and then the cell has to take the ATPs, the mitochondria, and recharge them. So these 2 GTPs are like 2 ATP equivalents. These 2 ATPs put every amino acid in the peptide. Peptide bond, what's the mechanism? This is the only mechanism I'm showing you, so you have to know this. Here, here's the P side, right? P side has a tRNA, and attached to that tRNA is a peptide. So this is growing peptide, right? This signifies the terminal end, so the peptide on the end. Does that make sense? Right? So we're looking at the P side, right? The P side here. This is the P side, and this we're looking at that amino acid right there. So that's that amino acid. This one here, this is the carboxyl terminal end of that peptide, which is that to the tRNA in the P side. So here's the A side. So this is where the tRNA has the incoming amino acid. Now what's the mechanism? What's the enzymology? The enzyme is called peptidyl synthetase, but you know what? If you take ribosomes in vitro that are making a protein, and you put in proteases, which attack the proteins on the ribosomes, protein synthesis continues. It keeps going. But if you put ribonuclease there, everything stops. What does that mean? What does that mean? It turns out that the enzyme, the peptidyl synthetase activity, right, resides in the RNA in the ribosome. It resides in the large RNA in the large ribosomal subunit. Which means, what kind of an enzyme is peptidyl synthetase? A ribozyme, right? Which is an RNA molecule that acts as an enzyme. It's a ribozyme. So the peptidyl synthetase is actually in the nucleic acid. And here we look. This right here, this is an adenine within the active site of the peptidyl synthetase. And the adenine is part of the nucleic acid, right? So this is riboadenosine. And here's the mechanism. What happens is this nitrogen in the catalytic side on this adenosine abstracts. We talked about that before. It pulls away a proton that's on the amino terminal end of this amino acid that's attached to tRNA. The tRNA, remember, is attached to that hydroxyl, that carboxy end of the amino acid. This is the amino end. And now it's when this adenosine in the active site pulls away that proton, extracts it. It leaves that nitrogen without that proton. So you essentially have a nitrogen radical, which makes it really, really active. It's very reactive.